comments and views expressed on The Kevin Smith Show are those of the people that make them and do not necessarily reflect the views of Kevin Smith, The Kevin Smith Show, or its affiliates or sponsors.
Hi, folks, and welcome to The Kevin Smith Show, whoever you are, wherever you are, all around this beautiful place we call Earth. Thanks for being here at The Kevin Smith Show. It's talk radio like nowhere else on Earth, that's a guarantee. And it's the show where you matter. It's the right place to be, and I'm delighted you're here. Tonight, we're going to return to a topic that we have discussed on 2 or 3 occasions. We're going to return to a discussion of this topic, super soldiers. I've done a little research in this, and as far as I can tell, the first super soldiers, the first person to attempt to create super soldiers was a guy by the name of Joseph Stalin. And he funded the work of Ilya Ivanov, who was one of Russia's top animal breeding scientists. And apparently, Stalin told Ivanov, "I want a new, invincible human being, insensitive to pain, resistant and indifferent about the quality of food they eat." So Ivanov was the first, as far as I was able to determine, to attempt at building a super soldier. Now, he failed, and he failed because what he tried to do was to interbreed, to mix the great apes and humans. And the problem with that is the great apes have 24 pairs of chromosomes. We have 23. And so it wouldn't work. And it was a failure. But that is, as far as I can tell, the first attempt. And we're going to be talking about the attempts of various other countries, and particularly the United States, to develop what some people are calling super soldiers. But it has a little bit of a different definition. The definition is not superhuman in terms of strength, although some of them may be, but having greatly advanced and greatly enhanced abilities. And so that's what we're going to be working on, and that's that topic. Some of the abilities would be things like psychic ability. Some of them would be an enhanced ability, for instance, at memory, being able to memorize vast amounts of information without anyone even noticing that's what they were doing, just by observing and then memorizing it, and other enhanced abilities. Being able to not only remember all that stuff, but then to give accurate dimensions within a few centimeters without ever measuring it with a measuring tape. Those are the kinds of enhanced abilities that apparently go into the making of today's super soldiers. We're going to be talking to someone who was in charge of some of those super soldiers right after this break. And welcome back to the Kevin Smith Show. My guest this evening has been with us before. And I'm sure that many of you will remember him. His name is Dave Corso. And Dave Corso is someone who has quite an interesting story to tell. You may have seen him on Jesse Ventura's television show, and you may have heard him here. Maybe you saw him on a video over at Project Camelot. But he's got quite an interesting story to tell. And when he was with us before, we sort of hit the surface of some of this. Tonight we're going to drill down into the story just a little bit more and see what we can find. Dave, I want to welcome you back to the Kevin Smith Show. It's a delight to have you back with us, sir.
Well, Kevin, it's a delight to be back with you as well. At least this time my voice is normal.
Well, Dave, that would be about the only thing about you that is normal, isn't it?
So well spoken, and as I said in Jesse Ventura's program, you're so very astute.
Well, I've done a little bit of research into Project Talent and into the whole concept of super soldiers. I found some interesting things. Now, there are people out there who think that, in fact, there is no such thing as a super soldier program. There are actually many super soldier programs. But just so folks get a flavor of the reality, this is from back in January 2003, this article. And in this article it says, the lead paragraph says, the Pentagon has launched a series of remarkable medical experiments to find a way to keep its soldiers and pilots awake and alert for up to 5 days at a time. Now, this article goes on to detail that there are a couple of pilots that were being prosecuted. They were going to be court-martialed, and the reason was that they accidentally killed 4 Canadian soldiers in Afghanistan back in 2002. And what they were going to argue in their defense was that they had been subjected to this, what we are calling super soldier program, in that they had been given drugs to keep them awake for long periods of time, and that impaired their judgment. So here is exactly what we are talking about, and it's in a court case. It's the real deal. And the Pentagon search for this what we're calling super soldier actually goes under the title Extended Performance Warfighter. That's true. That's what they call it. The Extended Performance Warfighter. And it concentrates on employing advanced genetics and neurological science to keep warriors awake and alert. Advanced genetics, that's interesting. And drugs. Well, I drilled into this a little bit. Let me give a little bit of background here, and then I've got a whole bevy of questions for you this time, things that I really didn't think about last time, but I have had time to think about. There is a public face, folks, and then there is the not public face of this super soldier program. It's not, as I said, just one program. There are a number of programs that are designed to achieve this extended performance warfighter. But Project Talent I dug into because Project Talent is what Aaron McCullum has told us he was part of. I believe Duncan O'Finioan was part of Talent.